Good day, gentlemen. I've been with my girl for over 7 years, and long distance is easy for us now. But the reality is, it took years of painful work and learning to get here. This very pain is what I want to save you from, especially if you're a busy man who runs his own business, is a pro athlete, or simply is a high level professional. Because I've worked 70 plus hours per week for the vast majority of the last 6 years. My girl and I had countless phases of long distance, even till today, and yet our relationship didn't just survive, it's thriving. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this as well. Let's get right into the 4, maybe unconventional lessons that actually made it possible for me and my girl to get here. Now, lesson number 1 is fundamental, and nobody talks about this. Because when you're in long distance, right, you're in different locations, so you're living different lives, and therefore you will be in different moods a lot. And this is especially important for you to understand if you are that kind of busy person, that busy man who's ambitious, who has goals, who's striving constantly. Because it can disrupt your pursuit quite a bit if you don't understand what I'm about to tell you. Because what I did when I was younger, first couple years of our relationship, when we had those long distance phases, and even if we didn't have those long distance phases, I would basically go and be in a bad mood just because she's in a bad mood. Because I thought that that's how you show empathy. But it's not. And it doesn't help anyone. I know when I point it out like this, so directly, you're like, yeah, of course, why should I be in a bad mood when she's in a bad mood? But you still did it many times, and you might even continue doing it if you don't listen up here. So, just because she's in a bad mood doesn't mean that you have to be in a bad mood. Just because she's unhappy, you can still be happy. And that is actually going to help her and the problem that she wants to solve, or the thing that she's upset about, much more than if you also get into a bad mood. Now, what I will also say here is you have to, in a way, protect your peace. Because when you have all these projects, all these pursuits, you're building a business, you're training, whatever it might be, you have to protect your energy, you have to protect your peace. And actually, she will, in a way, lose respect for you and lose especially trust in you if you constantly let her disrupt your peace. Because she knows how important it is for you. Even if you don't tell her, she knows, because feminine intuition, she can see that. And it's just logical that someone who is very ambitious needs a lot of peace, a lot of calm in his mind to achieve those goals. And here's the thing, you can still be empathetic, which you absolutely should be, and validate your feelings instead of invalidating them. That's not going to help anyone, while still protecting your peace. And you can do that, I think, the best way in certain situations is by simply disrupting her bad mood through humor, through love, through presence. And I talked about that deeper in one of the previous videos, which was titled, "She's not your enemy, just love her." I went deeper into that point there. But humor is one of those things that helps you there a lot. But also, sometimes you simply want to protect your peace, and you simply want to be straight up with her and simply tell her, hey, you're disrupting my peace right now. I don't appreciate that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel what you shouldn't feel. I still love you. But also, you're going a bit too far. You set a boundary. You simply tell her, hey, you're stepping over a line here. In the long run, you should never really have to do that. In the long run, you should always try to become a man who is capable of disrupting her bad mood with love, with peace, with humor, with passion. Whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, doesn't matter. Because when you can act from this grounded perspective, when you can be that rock in the current, right? She's the current just slashing at every side of that rock, chaotically, uncontrollably, but you're just there, steady, loving. That's going to help her simply feel protected and simply be able to actually solve that problem that she's struggling with. You don't have to necessarily help her solve that problem. You have to make space for her to be able to solve that problem. Now, for lesson number 2, I believe every single ambitious man has been in this situation where you're separated from your girl for a couple weeks and you get so much done. And you're like, holy shit, does this relationship even make sense? Should I maybe just be single and just work and work and work because I want to achieve this goal? All that stuff. I'll be honest here, I always got upset at my relationship, at my girl, when I saw how much more I got done when she wasn't with me. And that's not a good foundation for a relationship at all. And I still thought about balance a lot, because people just talk about balance constantly, right? And I got to a point where I fell into this trap that a lot of men especially fall into, where you think, okay, balance is so important, I'm gonna have every single day balanced out, and every single day is gonna fulfill every single one of my needs. Every single day is just the same, single day is balanced. What I understood is the reason why I was able to work so much and to get so much shit done in those long distance phases was because, number one, I was able to relax beforehand and to recharge beforehand when I was with my girl, because she gives me a lot of that feminine, enlivening energy. But then secondly, and this is even more fundamental, there is someone that I can depend on. There's many people, friends, family, my girlfriend now, just an environment of people that I've built over the last couple of years. And by the way, I had a shitty relationship with my parents. I had to fix that. I had 0 friends after school, because all of my friends went on to basically go to university and get shit-faced 3 times a week, and I didn't want to do that. Not judging those friends, right? They're still great people. I still love them dearly, but I was... I went down a different path, and so those relationships, those friendships split apart, so I had to build new friendships. This armrest keeps sliding down here, annoying as hell. But yeah, I built this from nothing, basically, right? Same with the relationship. I was this skinny... and this is not to whine or to complain or to seek empathy. I'm explaining this to you so you can see that I wasn't always the guy that I am now. I got bullied. I was extremely skinny. I had 0, not even just attraction, but like interest from girls when I was younger. And now we're here. Everyone can do this. I truly believe that. And yeah, man, this point of having someone to depend on, this point of knowing, hey, in 2 months I'm going to see my girlfriend again, and then I want to spend time with her. You do all of that subconsciously. I did all of that subconsciously as well. You're just like, okay, I'm going to get, like, if there's a 2-month long distance phase, I thought, okay, I'm going to get a lot done in these 2 months so that then I can actually spend time with my girl. And that's what I eventually realized. Instead of having a balanced day or a balanced week, I extended my time frame. I thought, okay, I'm going to have an extended, a balanced quarter here, or a balanced 6 months, or a balanced year. That's how I'm going to think about it now. So balance might not be there every single day, because, well, sometimes my girl is here, sometimes she's not here. But over the long run, balance is absolutely there. And if you think about balance like that, it's actually very easy to deal with phases of long distance, even if they're 6 months or longer. And quick disclaimer here, because this is a small detail that a lot of men don't understand and they judge themselves for very harshly. When a long distance phase starts, and maybe you drop off your girl at the airport, whatever, you're not going to get a lot done the next few days after you separate for a phase, for a season. You're not going to get a lot done. And that is very normal, because your nervous system and the nervous system of your girlfriend or wife or whatever, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time, they get very used to each other. You get used to their smell, you get used to their touch, to their taste, to seeing them, to hearing their voice. And all those 5 senses, by the way, it's been discovered by science, just a quick side tangent, that there are like 36 senses that we actually have, not just the 5 basic ones that we think about. Anyway, those 5 basic senses, fundamental senses, are used to having this person around. That's your nervous system getting used to them. Literally, even your immune systems, they adjust to each other, which is fucking crazy. And the thing is, When you separate, your nervous system is like, where the fuck is this person? Why can't I smell them? Why can't I taste them? Why can't I touch them? Why can't I see them? Why can't I hear their voice? Why can't I hear their laughter? Why can't I feel their warmth laying next to me in bed every night? And your nervous system is frantically searching for this person, and then you wonder why you have this nervous energy that doesn't really let you fall asleep at night for the first few days, doesn't really let you focus on work for the first few days. This is very normal. Don't judge yourself for this. Don't think that you're wrong for feeling like this. This is very normal. And the same thing kind of happens when you reconnect, when you pick her up from the airport again. It's the same kind of thing where, well, you have to reconnect, and your nervous system got used to not having this person around, and now it has to reconnect. Now it's like, oh, so now this person is here again? What the fuck? And by the way, to make this easier, to make this not as intense, these waves, what I found, this is just a quick side note, but this is actually very important, this just popped into my head. I have found that these 5 basic senses, again, right? Smell, touch, taste, hearing, vision. The more of these that you can stimulate during a long distance phase, the less intense these waves of up and down in your nervous system will be. So instead of having just a phone call, have a video call where you can hear and see them. Maybe they wear a fragrance, so maybe they can leave that fragrance with you so that you can spray that fragrance around your room before you go to bed. Maybe they can, I don't know what else. Maybe you eat some kind of food together every day, right? Something like that, and you eat that same food. Maybe you have like a little dessert or something together every day, or I don't know, something like that. It helps a lot. Now, for lesson number 3, we need to talk about jealousy and anxious attachment. Because if you struggle with that while you are with your girlfriend in person, while you live in the same house or in the same town or whatever, you will struggle with that 100 times more if one of you is gone on holiday or for a work trip or whatever it might be. And I can speak from experience here because I had crippling anxious attachment when we first got together. I'm talking, she didn't text me back for a couple minutes. I thought she was cheating on me. Like literally to that extent. And I didn't just think it, I felt that. And it wouldn't let me fall asleep. It wouldn't let me focus on my work. It destroyed every single part of my life. And I say that so casually because I'm over it now and I've healed those parts of me now. My nose is itchy, I don't know why. By the way, itchy nose, that's... Anyone who watched Kung Fu Panda, I think it's in the starting phase of the third movie where the Master Oogway like, sniffs in like a... Anyway, he has like an itchy nose. It's a funny fucking scene. Get the fucking point. Get to the fucking point, Benny. So... anxious attachment, jealousy, all that destroyed my fucking life, even though there were no rational reasons for that to happen. There were 0 red flags, my girl didn't talk to any other guys, my girl didn't have any guy friends, none of that bullshit, right? But I was used to seeing people betray me. Family, friends, all that shit. So I thought this is gonna happen here again. And she taught me better. She taught me that this is not gonna happen with every single person. But all of this jealousy, all this anxious attachment destroyed my focus, destroyed my productivity, destroyed my health. I couldn't fall asleep, all this bullshit, right? I check my phone every 10 minutes, all this stuff. And when we had our first few long distance phases, especially when I was at home, I was in my routine and she was traveling or she was whatever, right, gone for something. Oh, the sun is so nice, man. It's been a cold morning. Oh, this is nice. So, especially when I was at home and she was traveling, I was in my routine, I was in my normal environment. I would have these heavy, just emotions. And what helped me massively is 3 things. Setting clear rules, setting clear boundaries, and making plans. So, let's go through these one by one. For all of these, clarity is the most important thing. So that both of you have something to hold on to. Both of you have something to grab onto and to know, hey, this is going to happen. So for rules, for example, me and my girl, even till today, when we're on long distance, we have a phone call every single day, video call, I should say, every single day. Even if it's just for 3 minutes, we do that. That's one rule, right? Just an example. A boundary would be, we don't have those calls after a certain time, because I want to spend my evenings in calm. I want to spend them reading. I want to spend them journaling. I want to spend them being creative, whatever, or with friends. And so I don't want to have a phone call at 10 p.m. right before I go to bed. That's not my thing. So we do that earlier in the day, right? That's a boundary, just to explain that. And then what I mean with plans is knowing when you'll see each other again. Knowing maybe the exact day when you'll see each other again. Knowing what you'll do then. Having something to look forward to. Because there's this, I'm German, right? And there's this German saying, which is, to translate it into English, it's a bit tricky, but basically it is, the greatest joy in life is joyful anticipation. When you joyfully anticipate something, that's that feeling when you're a child and you're looking forward to a field trip with your class tomorrow morning, and you're like 6 years old, you're like, oh, you can't even sleep because you're so excited to go to the fucking zoo with your school, right? That's that feeling. And if you have that, holy shit, man, that helps so much to calm you down. Especially when the person who is maybe not as anxious, my girl is very secure when it comes to attachment. Had an avoidance side. But when she was kind of initiating those plans, and she was like, hey, we need to get clear on when we're going to see each other again, what the first few days will look like are we going to go for a little road trip or something when we reconnect, something like that. Are we going to just take some time out of our routine, take a little holiday or a little weekend getaway, whatever, something like that, right? When she would initiate that would help me a fuck ton. And also on that point of anxiety, jealousy, all that stuff, people say communication is key. Yeah, sure, 100%, but what does that even mean? What the fuck? And the thing is, communication is key, yes, but on long distance, communication is 100 times more important. And clarity, again, clarity is the key here. And whenever she says something, when you're on long distance, sometimes you might not exactly understand what she means. Before you react to whatever she said, ask her what the fuck she meant. And don't text. Just text as little as humanly fucking possible. The only real thing where we text regularly, me and my girl, on long distance, is to figure out when we're gonna have that phone call today, or when we are free to have maybe multiple phone calls that day, whatever it might be. Don't text some bullshit back and forth. You're gonna get confused. That happens every fucking time. She says something, you're like, what the fuck does she mean by that? Then you text back. Maybe you're in different time zones, so it takes her fucking 8 hours to reply to this because, well, she's asleep. And then for the next 8 hours, you're just, oh fuck, what did she mean by that? And then you get into this negative spiral. And the longer you stay in this negative spiral, the deeper you go. And the deeper you go, the more work it's going to take, not just for you, but also for your girlfriend, to get you out of that again. To get you back to baseline or even above baseline. Meaning, talk about such stuff on the phone. Don't text such stuff back and forth. It's not going to help. It's going to just get one or both of you into that spiral, and then it takes a bunch of work to reconnect, to rebuild that trust, to simply make you feel at ease again, to, in scientific terms, calm down that agitated attachment system, which is a part of your nervous system. And now last, but absolutely not least, lesson number 4. And this is, in my opinion, the most critical lesson in this video, because nobody thinks about this, nobody practices this, nobody talks about this. And I usually always, nice Benny, good English. I usually keep the most important, most impactful, most practical lessons to the end of these videos, because I don't want everyone who watches 3 minutes of this video and then moves on to some bullshit Mr. Beast video. I don't want those guys to get these lessons. I want you, the guy who watches this video fully, who is actually present here, is actually paying attention. I want you to get those lessons. So lesson number 4 is talk openly about sex during long distance. Never let sex become a topic that's absent from your conversations. Never, especially not on long distance. Because hey, People think, just because we're not physically together, so we can't have sex with each other, and we're not gonna have phone sex because that's weird. I understand, sure. But that doesn't mean that you don't talk about sex. What the fuck? For me personally, I usually use these phases of long distance to practice celibacy. Because I was extremely addicted to pornography when I was younger. Just watching porn literally 3 times a day and jerking off to it. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I've fully overcome this. And I usually take these phases to practice abstinence and to transmute that sexual energy that builds up in my body, that gives me a lot of energy, a lot of drive, into my pursuits, into my business, into my training, into my surfing, all of that. And still, even though I practice celibacy for months at a time when we're on long distance, I still talk about sex almost every single day with my girl. We talk about our needs. We reflect on the sex that we've had over the last couple months while we were together. It's a great time to reflect about sex when you're on long distance. It's a great time to really think, okay, what do I actually want sexually? What is important to me? And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't talk about those needs that you have, if you don't talk about what you would maybe like to experiment with, whatever, this is also, by the way, much easier to talk about this stuff on the phone than in person when you're lying in the same bed and you're like, oh fuck, do we try this right now? Do we not? Like, it's much more awkward. It's so much easier to just do it on the phone while you're on long distance anyway, while there's literally no way. And also, hey, it turns you on a bit. It keeps that sexual spark alive. You don't have to just rekindle it after 3 months because you haven't seen each other for 3 months. No, you keep it alive. You keep that flame burning and you feel great and you can reconnect right away. Because, bro, so many people have this, oh yeah, we haven't seen each other for 3 months. Now we're gonna see each other today, and then we're gonna be so attracted to each other, and we're just gonna want to devour each other and all this stuff. And then you're together and you're like, fuck, I don't even feel turned on. Yeah, shit, no, of course you don't. You haven't even talked about sex for the last 3 months. Fucking hell. Keep that flame alive, brother. And look, if you want to take your relationship to that deeper, more passionate, more connected level, where you know that this relationship will not just survive, but it's gonna thrive, then I want to offer you my help. And I want to explain to you how you could literally be talking to me in a couple of hours from now. Because I've already helped a bunch of men who were stuck in a very similar position to you, and I've helped them get to this position where their woman is so attracted to them, so radiant, so open, so loving, so goofy, and they are so grounded, so at peace with themselves, with the world, with their relationship. They're able to lead from a loving place. All these men felt stuck. They had no positive vision for the future of their relationship. They were basically convinced that those relationships sooner or later would end, because they were not able to actually handle that relationship because nobody ever taught them how. Because, well, nobody ever teaches us this stuff. We're just supposed to become an adult and then have it figured out. What the fuck? How would that work, right? And so what I offered these men was a free alignment call with me. This is not a free coaching call. My time is too limited for that these days. But it is a call where me and these guys individually, of course, it's not a group call or anything, right? Individually, we talked about what actually is holding the relationship back, and we talked about where they want to get with the relationship, and we essentially figured out whether I can get them there, whether I can help them. And this alignment call is also what I want to offer to you now. But quick disclaimer, this is not for broke guys who are looking for some quick fix free advice bullshit. This is for men who are in a fairly stable financial position and who actually want to take the steps necessary to build the relationship they've always wanted with the woman they love. And so if that's you, what you can do right now is you can... Sorry, my nose again. Itchy nose. What you can do is you can click the link in the description of this video, and there's a quick application form. There's also a bunch of testimonials on that page if you want to read some of those. But you can basically fill out that application. That takes 2 minutes. It's like 5 or 6 questions. And if your application looks like you're actually qualified for an alignment call with me, then you will be forwarded to a page where you can literally schedule that alignment call with me right then and there. So if my calendar is free, you could literally be talking to me in a couple of hours from now. And if my calendar isn't free today, you will be able to talk to me tomorrow or the day after. And so if that sounds interesting to you, then quit procrastinating here. You know that I can help you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been watching this whole video and gotten value from it. And so yeah, click that link right now if you're interested. Fill out the application, book that call, and maybe we'll speak very, very soon. Talk to you then. Bye.